Hello everybody, bonjour, salam alaikum, bienvenue. This is the next installment of Stuck at Home, and we're going to talk about Shed Couture, which is what I'm wearing, what I'm dressed in, because it's the book that I'm writing at the moment about how you should look after your beautiful clothes so that you can wear them forever or recycle them. So the point of looking after them really well is that they do become easy to recycle and resell if you want to. So I'm going to teach you how to make a Tarte Soleil, a sunshine tart. So what I'm wearing is the Italian designer Marni. It's a cotton knee-length dress, and the earrings are also Marni. I bought them in New York, they're vintage. And the really best thing is the necklace, which is sort of, it looks to me like it's perspex bits. It stretches, you just put it on over your head, and it's got all these different bits on it. And it just sits, isn't that fabulous? So, what we're going to do is, cheers, make a sunshine tart. And what you need for a sunshine tart is pastry and two different fabulous pestos or tapenades. It can be anything you like, it doesn't matter. I just pulled out the ones that I found in the fridge. So first of all, you make the base. This is not made in a tart tin, it's made flat on a baking tray. So you get the best pastry, if you're not making it yourself, is panettone in New Zealand anyway. So you get your panettone pastry out. It's the most beautiful, because it's made with real butter, that's why it's so fabulous. And you roll it out. Now normally I would make a much bigger one than this, because it's the sort of tart you make for a cocktail party, and you'll see why if you stay with me. So you roll that out, you get, normally I'd have, as I said, a much bigger guiding plate. So I've just got a small one for the purposes of demonstration. So you cut out a perfect round, in other words, your sunshine. And just cut that off, and the rest, if you've got pastry left over, you can just roll it up and put it back in the fridge again. So there's your base. I leave it on the paper because it stops it from sticking when you bake it. So you've got your first round. On top of that round, I'll put the recipe up on the YouTube thing. You put this, what I found in my fridge is dill and almond pesto from Sabato, and you spread some over. I'll give you the measurements in the recipe. Not too much, and you'll see why you can't have too much, because it'll all, when you cook it, it'll all start squeezing out the sides. And you don't put it right to the very edge. You put it almost to the edge so that it doesn't ooze over the cooking tray. Maybe a little bit more of that. So that is a dill and almond pesto. And then on top of that, you take a contrasting one. It could be anything you like. It could be a black tapenade, it could be an artichoke pesto. It can't be lumpy. It has to be quite smooth. So we will get some. This one that I found in my fridge is Pronto Rosso, which is a sun-dried tomato paste from my favorite, Sabato in Auckland. And you spread that over the top as well, but not too much. You have to be disciplined. And try and be careful about the way you spread it because you don't want to make holes in your pastry. You can make this with a short pastry, and of course you can make short pastry yourself really easily. But I normally make it with a flaky pastry, and flaky pastry is really complicated to make if you want to make a proper one. So most people are not going to lend themselves to a flaky pastry unless they have a lot of time on their hands. Now, so you've got that base. You've got to move quickly and with purpose, because if the now you get your next sheet of pastry. If the pastry warms up too much, it's very, very hard to where should I put that over here? It's very hard to work with. It gets too warm, and then you can't make the rays of the sunshine, the fabulous next stage, which I'm going to show you. So now you make your top layer, get your guide, cut it out. And place it on top of what you've already done. So you see, you've got the two layers with the paste in between. Just very gently, tap it together. You get a small glass. This is to make the sunshine. You place it in the middle. What you imagine is the middle. Don't press it down, it's just there as a guide. Then you get your scissors and you start cutting the rays. This is why you have to move fairly quickly and purposefully, because if it gets too warm, it's really, really hard to twist these rays when it comes time to twist them. So first of all, you do halves. It's really fun if you're doing it with another person or a couple of other people. This is one of the most popular recipes in my cooking class in Uzes, because lots of people can make it together, and you just give as many scissors as you've got people. So you keep cutting, and what you want is lots of rays of sunshine. Some people make them with just like maybe 16. And normally, of course, it's much bigger than this. And some people make it with 32. I always make it with 32 if it's a big one. So now I've got all these pieces here. I'm going to go back again. The thing is to get them as even as possible. I'm going to go back again and cut them all so that they're smaller and smaller. Making this in a class, of course, is lots of fun because people are usually drunk, because in my classes in the south of France, we're allowed to start drinking on the dot of midday, which is actually a joke because we've already been drinking at the market, tasting wines. And how I discovered this recipe was I was at an antiques market in Uzes in the south of France, where I live half of the year, and my friend Petra and I, who also has a cooking school in Uzes, and we were at the market, of course, as usual, gasping over all the things that we were not going to buy. And what happens at the market is that the sellers, they will bring fabulous lunches with them to the market, so that when midday comes, they've got all this food, and they just sit down and get out their beautiful antique tables that they're supposed to be selling and put all this food on it. You take the glass off because you don't need it anymore. You've made your marker. You've got your sunshine tart, and now you start twisting the rays so that it really looks like a sunshine. So I normally do 2 twists to each ray, but if you are a bit cumbersome or not very confident about doing 2 twists and think, oh my God, this is just going to fall apart, then just do 1 twist. It's okay. So anyway, Petra and I were at this market, and this woman brought out this great big sensational looking tart, and we said, oh, God, what's that? She said, ah, mais c'est une Tarte Soleil, madame. And we said, oh, how did you make it? How did you make it? So she showed us how you can serve it cold, of course. It's usually served cold or room temperature. And it's really a lunch or a cocktail party type thing where you're sharing it with lots of other people. And it turned out that even though it looked incredibly dramatic, that it was, as you can see, very easy to make. And it's kind of what I call my supermarket tart, because you can be very staunch and make the pastes yourselves, or you can just go to the specialty food shop and buy the most fabulous pastes and pestos and tapenades that you find. You know, what goes in comes out of anything with cooking. So if you put a good product into it, then that's what it's going to come out of. It's going to taste fabulous according to the quality of what you put into it. So now I'm turning, twisting. They're almost all done. And of course, Petra and I just immediately went home and figured out ourselves how to make this tart. And we've been teaching it ever since in our cooking classes. Then you get some egg wash and put it on top, all over, so that when it's cooked, it'll be all crunchy and shiny and golden looking. Just lightly, delicately, with purpose and love. And then you put it in the oven. You can sprinkle some things on it if you want to. You could sprinkle a bit of sesame seeds, or you could sprinkle some fennel seeds or something like that. And that goes in the, and oh, by the way, while you're making it, if it's taken too long and it's getting too soft to work with, put the whole thing in the freezer for about 10 minutes until it's firm, and then continue to do your twisting, and it makes it much easier. So you put that in the oven at 180 for, this one would only take about 20 minutes. The big one that I normally make would take probably half an hour. And it should be golden. And in the magic that is a Peter Mathias cook class, here it is, already cooked. Ta-da! Isn't that fabulous? And so, why I say it's really good for cocktail parties is that you just pull bits off and eat them. So you put this in the middle of the table, and you've got your champagne and your clear lying around everywhere, and people just keep pulling bits off and snacking on them until you've eaten it all, and then whoever's the favourite person in the room gets to eat the sunshine in the middle. Et voilà! Merci. À la prochaine. Thank you, and see you next time.